Hey guys, what's going on? This is your old pal CHH. Now, sometime last year, there was this big hoopla online about Return of the Living Dead 3. Now, the word was that a lost cut of the film was found. Now, this was presumably an early cut of the film, obviously, which is the way a lot of these things work. Now, we have an update on if Lionsgate has any intention on putting that out, and I've even got some stuff about what is on those tapes. So, long story short, I was just on a friend's podcast, the Rabid Weasels podcast, with my friend Tin Man, out in the UK, and he was telling me he actually had one of the gentlemen involved with getting these tapes on. Now, the way they got these tapes was interesting because they got these tapes off of eBay, of all places. It was somebody involved with Vestron Video. I'm going to show you guys where you can listen to this whole podcast. I've got a segment of this I'm going to play for you guys where you will hear about what is on some of these Return of the Living Dead lost unseen tapes and what's going on with Lionsgate and the whole kit and caboodle. And I've even got a screenshot from Facebook of one of the gentlemen, Chris McGibbon, on what Lionsgate had to say specifically. But just to refresh, let's show you guys, if you don't know what's going on. Last year, this was reported all over. Now we're going to look at Bloody Disgusting's article. This was on July 2nd, so about a year and a few days from last year, basically. Return of the Living Dead 3 lost first cut containing unseen footage has been uncovered. Love Never Dies, not for the doomed couple at the center of Brian Eustace's gory zombie sequel, Return of the Living Dead 3, and not for dedicated horror fans. Filmmaker Dustin Ferguson revealed on Facebook that he's acquired the lost first cut of used in this film, containing 8 minutes of never-before-seen footage. He writes, Return of the Living Dead 3 fans, we've acquired the lost first cut. It features almost 8 minutes of additional never-before-seen footage, not in the unrated version. No information exists anywhere about this. More details soon. So, the announcement comes with a photo of the T120 VHS master containing the cut, with Ferguson teasing that plans are underway for physical and or digital release and an announcement forthcoming. Well, maybe Mr. Ferguson was jumping the shark a little bit. Now, Mr. Ferguson has a partner involved with this whole thing. Now, this guy's name is Chris McGibbon. Now, Chris has told his whole story about this on my friend's podcast. Now, I'm bringing this to you guys now. I missed this, which I feel bad about, but, you know, life happens. We're all busy. And here's the first thing I want to show you guys. Let's answer this question now. What is going on with this cut of Return of the Living Dead 3? Now, obviously, this footage, I would assume, technically belongs to Lionsgate, even though it's not in their possession. But when this whole thing went down, these gentlemen acquired these tapes, and they wanted to go about this the right way, especially Chris. They weren't going to just digitize these tapes and just start selling them online through Etsy or eBay, because I think these guys have some prominence, obviously, and it would look really bad if they did that. Now, one of the things a lot of people are saying is, oh, great, now Lionsgate Vestron Video will do like an updated version of Return of the Living Dead 3 and have this cut of the film available, etc., etc. You would think that would be the straight-up case right away. Well, somebody asked on a Facebook group about this. Now, we actually have a screenshot which has been verified by my buddy who's friends with Chris McGibbon, and this is what the screenshot reads. Here we go, guys. So whatever happened to the 8 minutes of never-before-seen footage that was recovered from the cut of Return of the Living Dead 3? That was announced last year, and I've heard nothing about it ever since. This was on July 20th by Jade Preeb. Now, Chris McGibbon actually says this: nothing was ever planned for it. We reached out to Lionsgate, and they didn't have much of an interest in it. So unless they inquire about it or don't have it themselves, we can't legally release it. Lionsgate doesn't want to license it out to Shout Factory. Well, they would never do that, number one. But I think they don't want to just deal with this. I think they have a slate. Obviously, they're doing this Lionsgate Limited thing now. I think this whole thing happened at the worst possible time, to be honest with you. Chris responds, nope. They said they have no current plans to revisit that title in the near future. Now, this is a shame. Now, part of you might be saying, listen, like, Part 3 is a fine movie, but what is on there that would be very, very cool? Well, here's one thing I can say. Now, I talked to my buddy that has the Rabid Weasels podcast, and he verified to me, he got to see a little bit of this. He verified to me that there is extended gore sequences in the original cut of Return of the Living Dead 3. So it's not just exposition footage or B footage that we were probably, unfortunately, assuming it would be. It sounds like there's actually good stuff on there. But the interesting thing is there's a certain ending. Now, obviously, don't watch this segment if you don't want it to be spoiled, but the reality is there may be a chance we never see this anyway. So some of you might be hearing this for the first time. So what I'm going to do is play a small segment of the Chris McGibbon interview from the Rabid Weasels podcast. But please go on Spotify, go on YouTube, and check out the podcast. Spotify is where you can find the Rabid Weasel Show. I've been on there 3 times, by the way. Love the show. Great friends of mine. So here it is, guys. This is Chris McGibbon talking on the podcast about parts of what is on that lost footage. Take a listen.
That's how we found out about it, and we spoke about it on this podcast before you reached out. Me and William, we were talking about it, going, "Oh, what's this all about? What can it be? Is it going to be the gore?" The one question we were asking was, does it? And I think you showed us this. Does it have the end scene where Julian and Kurt are in the incinerator? Shall we say? Does it have the smoke coming out the top? Does it? I can't remember. Did it or did it not? I can't remember now.
It does. So in it shows the smokestack. And I think they were going to superimpose smoke because there's nothing coming out of it. It's a shot of this thing, and they are probably going to put like a smoke coming out of it in post production. And that was an odd shot to cut. But then again, I don't know if they probably didn't want it to end on a cliffhanger. Like, oh well, now this is going to start a whole zombie epidemic like the first movie, because I don't know if they were necessarily leaning into making 4 at that point, or if they were just making this as a one-off thing, seeing how it would go, and maybe too, like, showing that kind of lessened the impact of the ending of 3 with them just dying in the fire, because I think it does make a point. I think it does show Kurt turning on the biofilter. Yeah. So it's supposed to suggest that he's aware that, their bodies are contaminated and, and whatnot. So burning without this thing on would mean that we're spreading it everywhere or something. So maybe that was when they saw that, they went, oh, wait a minute, this won't make a whole lot of sense. It's not going to be as ominous because, like, we know the biofilter's on. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know why they cut it, but it is there. It is. Because there's 2 cuts. There's the first cut, which is basically what they call an assembly cut, which is everything they shot, edited in order. And then what they normally will do is take that and whittle it down to what we end up getting. It goes through a couple passes. And then there's the second cut, which is closer to the original release cut. And that has a temp score and some temp sound effects in it. And that one still had that on the end. It still had the smokestack at the end. So that decision to cut that was like later, in the process, because it wasn't it's not like something they did early on, and said, oh, okay, we're not gonna show that, cut it out. But it didn't come with any. It would have been great, because if there were any editing notes and they had come with the tapes, it would have been really easy to find the answers for the stuff. Cause oh, they want this cut because of XYZ, but all I got were the tapes. So
all right. Still though, it's still a really nice, really cool piece to have, especially finding on eBay.
On eBay, of all places. I'm hoping at some point there's something that can be done with it. I have talked to some folks over at Lionsgate about the potential of using it for something down the road. My big thing was, like, I don't want to do anything illegal with it. I don't want to, people wanted me to put it out there and wanted to buy it and get a copy, and it would have been really, really easy for me to burn off a couple of DVDs and throw them in the mail and sell it to people. But, I wasn't really interested in doing that. My goal was to preserve it and make sure that if by some chance Lionsgate didn't have this footage anymore, if this was the only copy of the stuff that existed now, that someone somewhere had it and had, made it into a digital file and put it, somewhere where it would be accessible and safe, and not just on these tapes that over time degrade, and this could potentially be gone forever if someone doesn't do something with it. Because unfortunately, too, the mother mindset I had was, there's a lot of collectors who buy stuff like this and then they just hoard it. They don't share it with anybody. They don't show it to anybody. It's just a bragging thing for them. Like, look what I've got and you don't. And, I didn't want to do that with this at all, but at the same time, it's like, I can't distribute it. So basically I can say, yes, I have it. Yes, if you want to see it, I can show you pieces of it, but I don't want to send you a link to watch the file, because then if you download it, you're going to put it on. Like, I don't know you from a hole in the wall.
Guys, there you have it. Unfortunately, it's not the best news, but listen, make your voices heard. When Lionsgate posts stuff, ask them about it. Say, we want to see that unrated, uncut version of Return of the Living Dead 3. Make yourselves heard. Get your voices out there. Believe me, they are listening, whether they acknowledge it or not, and the only way we can acknowledge change is by voicing ourselves. The reality is, we may not be able to make like a new Blu-ray version or 4K version, but do this as a steelbook, and then, for God's sakes, put that footage on as a bonus feature. That way we can preserve it, catalog it, have it, see it. That is important to us horror fans. Return of the Living Dead 3 has unseen footage. Let's make it be seen footage in the future. So, guys, hopefully there will be more footage from Return of the Living Dead 3 in the future. Make your voices heard, guys. Huge, giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind-the-scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.